What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is gonna be super chill and cozy because it's really gloomy outside. So I thought today would be just a good day to film the Booktube newbie tag because I haven't done it yet and I'm still like in the beginnings of my Booktube journey here. So I thought I would film this while it's super cozy out and gloomy. And yeah, so I'm coming at you from my bed with my cozy blanket. I've got a little fireplace on my laptop. Yeah, let's just be cozy together. And I have my questions here and let's just go through them. Okay, so at least the video that I'm looking at, there's 11 questions. First question is, why did you start this channel? So I started this channel because I love watching other booktubers like so much. It's kind of like my only form of entertainment, honestly. I mean, I spend a lot of time on social media, but I spend a lot of time on YouTube, specifically watching book videos. And I've always liked watching book videos like before I even started reading. I specifically remember looking at, I don't know what year it was, but I really liked watching my most disappointing reads of the year videos. Or like where I like to watch popular books I didn't like type of videos. I didn't even read at this time, so it's kind of funny. But anywho, yes, so I really like watching booktube videos and I was like, you know what? I can make it too. Like, I can do it. Yeah, so I just wanted to join and like be part of this community, and I think it's fun to talk about books and I love reading. I just consume so much book content, so I was just like, well, why not me? So that's why I started it. Okay, the second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? And honestly, I don't know. I really, my cats are chasing each other. I really don't know. I don't really have an answer for this one because I guess like the most unique thing that I could bring is just myself, right? Like everybody has different opinions on books and everybody obviously has different personalities. So I think, you know, it's like the reason you watch Booktube. And that's why you're subscribed to so many different people. Like, yes, we're all talking about books, but everybody is different and themselves. And, you know, you could be saying like pretty much the same thing, but I don't know. It's just who's saying it. Hope that makes sense. It's kind of feels like I'm doing an interview. Question number 3 is, what are you most excited about for this channel? I am most excited about just like growing the community and literally talking about books. That's like all I want to do. And I just think making videos is so much fun and kind of like artistic in a way. And it allows me to be like somewhat creative in a different format, which I think is really fun. Like whenever I post a video, it's like Christmas morning the next day. See like how people like it, what people think, and you know, stuff like that. So I just think it's super fun to make videos, and I'm most excited just to see like how I can grow and just getting more people to talk about books, and that's just my favorite thing, you know? Okay, question number 4 is, why do you love reading? Which I love this question. No, you guys, I literally feel like I'm in a job interview right now. I love reading just for the escapism that it can give me. You know, like I feel like that's a pretty basic answer, but I just love the escapism. Like I love being able to open up a book and go into that world and kind of turn off my mind from everything else. And it makes me so happy to like be able to read, and I just love it so much. Like getting introduced to new characters and to new worlds, and it's crazy that just like words on a page can make you feel so much inside, and that you can be like in love with these characters that are just fictional. I just think it's so much fun, and I love being like little reader girl. Okay, question 5 is, what book or series got you into reading? So I will say, I feel like this is probably similar for a lot of people, but Miss Colleen Hoover, I gotta give it to her. That's the reason I got into reading. Basically, I had been following like some lifestyle influencers who were starting to read, and so I was just like taking some recommendations from them, and I was like, oh, you know what, maybe I should start reading again. This was in like 2022 maybe. And I started, my first book that I read was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I just could not believe that I could feel like this for people on a page. Yeah, so It Ends With Us was what really got me into reading. And then from there it was like, I read like 3 books a week that week. I read It Ends With Us, and then I read Verity, and then I think I read The Hating Game, I believe. And it just really took off from there. So I know Colleen Hoover gets a lot of hate, and you know, but she does write like quick books, and that is what got me into reading. So yeah, I will give it to her. But okay, number 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I'd probably ask my favorite booktubers questions about Booktube and like behind the scenes stuff and like videos they would recommend filming. I'm just really interested in the behind the scenes of YouTube, so I'd love to know like what kind of equipment they use and like do they plan their videos out a long time ahead, or you know, just stuff like that. That's probably what I would say for that question. I hope this isn't like really boring to watch right now, and I definitely touch my hair a lot, you guys, when I'm talking, so I'm really sorry. You're like, girl, put those hands down. Number 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Honestly, I would say just having the time to film, especially the videos that I like to make. I like to watch like reading challenges and stuff like that. So those obviously take time to film. And so I guess like the challenge is just finding the time to film while also working full time. I would love for this to someday like be a job. That would be amazing. That's like ultimate goal. I would say that's probably the hardest challenge, is just finding the time to film, to edit. It takes more time than you'd probably think. Like it takes more time than I thought it would, especially the editing portion. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can spend hours and hours and hours editing just for this little tiny outcome. So it's really interesting to see that aspect of it. Maybe another challenge for booktube specifically is that you have to read books to talk about books, you know what I mean? So, and I'm not like always 100% of the time in the mood to read, so I could see that being a challenge, but I love reading so much, so I don't think it'll be too bad. Question number 8 is, when did you start reading? So I was a reader when I was younger, probably in like grade school, you know, went to the book fair, all that kind of stuff, read my Percy Jackson, and I probably stopped reading when I went to school, which was like 7th and 8th grade, at least for me. Or wait, is middle school 5th and 6th grade too? I don't know, but I think I stopped reading when I went to 7th grade. Hi, Dexter. I think like especially my 6th grade year, I really loved reading, and I loved being at like a public school with a big library and stuff like that, because I had previously been in a private school. So that's when I was really into reading when I was younger, but then I stopped reading, obviously, like a lot of people do, and then it was 2022 when I started reading again and fell back in love with it, and I'm so happy I did. Question 9 is, where do you read? And I only read at home for the most part. Like I don't really tend to go to coffee shops and read that much, just because I get distracted too easily. So I read at home, I read in my bed, I read in my book chair. And the 2 places that I read the most are the bathtub, which I think sounds funny, but like I literally read so much in the bath just because I have like a big overhead light and I don't have my phone in there with me, so I have like all my distractions cut off. And this might sound weird, but like I love the background noise of the water running, like almost like a fan white noise. Like I really like that when I read, which is probably odd, but so I really like to read in the bathtub, a lot down in there. And then I also just read a lot on my couch. I would say those are probably the 2 biggest ones. I don't really read other places, I'm trying to think. I just read at home for the most part. Okay, our second to last question. Number 10 is, what kind of books do you like to read? And I would say for the most part, my genres, I like to read romance, fantasy, and thrillers are my 3 big ones, I would say. So my favorite genre that I like to read is probably like fantasy romance-ish, like kind of the line between them. I just like the stakes of everything being a little bit higher. Yeah, I do have like some fiction on my shelves and some books that I really liked from that, just like general literary fiction. But those are, for the most part, the type of books that I read. Okay, and the last question is, what does your book collection look like? So I guess I have to show you. I'll show you what it is right now. Okay, so my book collection. Let's do it. Okay, so these are what my bookshelves look like. This is most of my books. I'll show you where the rest of them are after I show this part. And honestly, it's like messy right now, so whatever. But I wanted to show you like the true bookshelf collection, I guess. I guess I can start up here with these books on top. So these are like my TBR books for the month. These are all extra books that I have that I don't have room for. Those are fantasy-esque, romance, thrillers, romance, Sarah J. Maas, like fiction, literary fiction, historical vibes. And then this is out in my living room where I have the rest of my books. So I have this shelf over here. These are my JLA books, some YA fantasy, YA fantasy, regular fantasy. These are not mine. I just have my Shatter Me series there. And then I have Colleen Hoover thrillers, hardback thrillers, and Harry Potter. And that is my book collection. All right, you guys, well, those are all of the questions for the Booktube newbie tag. I hope this was like somewhat entertaining to watch. I don't know if it will be. We'll see. But if you enjoyed this, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another video from myself. And I'll leave all these questions down below if you want to do your own tag. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.